Hello student, welcome to the YouTube channel till Open Academy. Today we are going to discuss our chapter Modern Physics, or what we can say in this chapter we are going to study about the radioactivity and the radioactive radiations. But before that we will start with the basics. First, in this chapter we are going to be totally relying on the study of the nucleus. This part of the chapter is not dealing with the atom or the orbital electrons. We are just going to concentrate on the nucleus. First of all, nucleus. We know that a central positive core is present at the inside an atom, and the approximate size of that central positive core varies from 10 raised to power minus 15 meter to 10 raised to power minus 14 meter. And it consists of two types of particles, one positively charged protons and the other negatively charged neutrons. Protons has a positive charge of 1.6 into 10 to the minus 19 coulomb with mass 1.67 into 10 to the minus 27 kg. The other member of the nucleus, neutron, has a zero charge, but it has a mass of 1.6 into 10 raised to the minus 27 kg, same as that of the proton. In fact, there is a mild difference between the mass of proton and neutron. Neutron is slightly heavier than that of the proton. Protons and neutrons collectively they are called as the nucleons. So they are the only two members of the nucleus, and collectively they are called as the nucleons. First, then few definitions. One, atomic number. Atomic number is represented by letter capital Z. It represents the total number of protons inside a nucleus. So atomic number does not based upon the number of electrons, but it is the total number of protons in the nucleus of an atom. For example, carbon. Carbon has atomic number 6. So it has 6 protons inside its nucleus. So its atomic number is 6. Mass number. It is a total number of nucleons present inside a nucleus. That is, if we add all the total number of protons and neutrons together, that resultant sum of the protons and the neutrons we call it as the mass number. Mass number is represented by capital A. So A is equal to Z plus N. A is mass number, Z is proton number, N is the neutron number. For example, if we take the example of carbon 612, it has Z equal to 6 and A equal to 6 and A equal to 12. So in this case the number of neutrons inside it is equal to A minus Z is equal to 12 minus 6 equal to 6. So number of neutrons and number of protons both are 6. That's why 6 plus 6 mass number is 12. Then representation of a nucleus. A nucleus symbolically is represented in this form: XZA, where X stands for the nucleus, Z stands for atomic number, A stands for the mass number. I have two examples over here. For example, helium-2 helium nucleus with atomic number 2, mass number 4. Chlorine-1735, chlorine with atomic number 17 and mass number 35. So if we take the example of chlorine, here Z is equal to 7, A is equal to 35. So if we find number of neutrons, it will be equal to mass number minus atomic number, that is 35 minus 17, that will be equal to 18. Isotopes. This is an important definition. Atoms of the same element with the same atomic number but with a different mass number. These are the atoms of the same element which have the same atomic number but they have different mass number. Such atoms they are called as the isotopes. So important property of isotopes: atomic number is same but mass number is different. Because mass number is different, this means that A is different, and we know that A is the sum of proton and neutron number. and Z is already same for all the isotopes. This means that any difference in A is due to the difference in the number of neutrons. So isotopes have same Z, different mass number, and this difference in the mass number is due to the difference in the number of neutrons. Isotopes, because they have same Z, same atomic number, so number of electrons in all such atoms they have same, and we know that chemical properties of atoms, it is decided by the number of electrons. So all isotopes have the same chemical properties. Few examples I have listed over here. For example, 3 isotopes of the hydrogen, 1H1, 1H2, 1H3. Helium 2 isotopes, 2, 3 and 2, 4. Lithium 2, 3, 7, 3, 8. Beryllium 2, 4, 8 and beryllium 4, 9. Boron have 2 isotopes, 5, 10 and 5, 11. Carbon 3 isotopes, 6, 12, 6, 13, 6, 14. Nitrogen 3 isotopes, 7, 14, 7, 15, 7, 16. Oxygen 3 isotopes, 8, 17, 8, 16, 8, 17, 8, 18. Neon 2 isotope, 10, 20 and 10, 21. Sodium 3 isotopes, 11, 22, 11, 23, 11, 24. Magnesium 2 isotopes, 12, 24, 12, 25, and aluminium also 2 isotope, 13, 27, 13, 29, and silicon also 2 isotopes, 14, 28 and 14, 29. These are few examples of the isotopes, and you must remember at least 3 or 4 examples of the isotopes because they can be asked in the exam. Next, isobars. Atoms of different elements with same mass number but different atomic number. So isobars are totally opposite to that of isotopes. So these are the atoms of the different elements. Isotopes were the atoms of the same element. They were having the same atomic number. Isobars are having the same mass number. They are having a different atomic number, but they were having the same atomic number. So they have same number of nucleons because the mass number is same. Mass number is the sum of proton and neutron number, which is called mass number, collectively called as the nucleons also, protons and neutrons. So they have same number of nucleons. Because number of electrons are different, so different isobar atoms have the different chemical properties. Few examples I have listed over here. Sodium 1123, magnesium 1223. You can see that atomic number are different, 11 and 12, but mass number 23 is common. So this is one example. Hydrogen 1, 3, helium 2, 3. Second example, lithium 3, 8, beryllium 4, 8. Carbon 6, 14, nitrogen 7, 14, nitrogen 7, 16 and oxygen 8, 16. This is another example. Last, isotones. Atoms of the different elements which have the same number of neutrons. So if two atoms belonging to different elements, they have the same number of neutrons, they are called as isotones. For example, I have listed 4 examples. Sodium 1123, magnesium 1224. They have 12 neutrons each. Hydrogen 1, 2, helium 2, 3, 1 neutron each. Hydrogen 1, 3, helium 2, 4, 2 neutrons each. Lithium 3, 7, beryllium 4, 8, 4 neutrons each. You can calculate and you can verify that they are isotone of each other. Next, radioactivity. The phenomena of spontaneous disintegration of a radioactive nucleus with the emission of certain radiations, we call it as the phenomena of radioactivity. The phenomena of radioactivity was discovered by the Becquerel accidentally in his laboratory. So all the elements which occur in the nature, they are not stable, but some of the elements, especially the elements which have their atomic number greater than 82. So elements which are having their atomic number greater than 82, they are found radioactive in nature. Radioactive means these atoms or the atoms of such elements with atomic number greater than 82, they start breaking themselves, due to which in this process of this breaking, or what we call as disintegration, they not only break up to form lighter nuclei, but along with this they also eject some radiations from them. So this procedure of phenomena in which a radioactive nucleus of an atom disintegrates along with the emission of the radiations, we call it as the phenomena of radioactivity. Substances which show this phenomena, they are called radioactive substances. For example, uranium, radium, thorium, polonium and actinium. There are some other examples also. Radioactivity is a nuclear phenomena which involves changes in number of protons and number of neutrons only. This you have to remember. Radioactivity is a nuclear phenomena, so it does not involve the orbital electrons at all. So in chemical changes, only the number of electrons changes, but in the nuclear change, in a radioactive disintegration process, only the number of protons or neutrons inside the nucleus, they undergo a change. It has nothing to do with the orbital electrons. Because of that, any physical or any chemical change, it does not affect the nature of the radioactive substance. For example, in chemical reactions, the speed of a chemical reaction can be increased or decreased by controlling the certain factors, by controlling the physical conditions like temperature, pressure, or even by using the catalyst. But if we try to do the same thing, that we can also increase or decrease the rate of disintegration, the speed of the breaking of a radioactive atoms inside a radioactive sample, it cannot be done. So any oxidation process or any reduction process of a radioactive substance cannot alter the radioactivity of that particular substance. It can affect its chemical properties, but it is not going to affect its radioactive properties. Next, now there are three types of radioactive radiations which are emitted during a radioactive disintegration. First is called the alpha radiations, or called alpha particles, which are nothing but the doubly ionized helium nuclei. That means if from a helium atom, helium-2,4 atom, we remove both the electrons, then we are left with helium ion with 2 unit positive charge, or we can say a helium nuclei. That positively charged helium nuclei is called alpha radiation or alpha particle. There is a beta radiation also called as beta particle. Beta particles are nothing but our common electrons with a negative charge. Gamma radiations, alpha and beta, they are the material particles, because this is a helium nuclei, this is the electron. But gamma radiations are, they are pure energy which are emitted during a radioactive disintegration process. They have no mass, they have no charge, that's why they are neutral. Next, detection of the radiation. Alpha, beta and gamma. Alpha and beta, they are charged radiations, but gamma is a neutral radiation, so we can detect them by applying magnetic field or electric field. The cross sign here shows magnetic field being applied, which is perpendicular to the paper, pointing in the downward direction. This is a lead cavity with a very small pinhole inside it, and radioactive source is present inside it. The radioactive source is emitting alpha, beta and the gamma radiations, because alpha are positively charged, beta are negatively charged. So when they are moving inside a magnetic field, they get deflected because of their charge. But because alpha and beta, they are oppositely charged, so both deflect in the opposite direction. Gamma has zero charge, they are neutral, so they are not deflected by a magnetic field, so they pass as it is. Moreover, you can see that change in the direction of alpha is less than that of beta. Beta radiations, they suffer more deflection, greater reflection as compared to that of alpha. This is because beta particles are electrons, alpha particles are the helium nuclei, and we know that a nucleus is far much heavier as compared to that of electrons. So because electrons are lighter in mass, so they get deflected quite easily, while alpha particles, because they are helium nuclei, they are heavy, so they suffer lesser deflection. Similarly, by applying electric field, we can also detect alpha, beta and gamma. So this is again a lead cavity with a small hole with a radioactive source emitting alpha, beta and gamma radiations. When electric field is applied with the help of two such metal plates, One metal plate is connected with the positive terminal of the battery, other is connected with the negative terminal of the battery. So this whole plate is present at negative charge or negative potential. This whole plate is present at positive charge or positive potential. So this positive charge plate attracts the negative charge beta particles. This negative charge plate attracts positive charge alpha particles, whereas the neutral gamma radiations, they pass as it is. Again you can see deflection in alpha is less, more in beta. The reason same, beta particles, because they are electrons, they are lighter, they get deflected easily, whereas it is difficult to deflect the alpha particles because they are heavier. Next, properties of alpha, beta and gamma radiation. The properties are very important. First, nature. Alpha radiations, we just know that they are positive charge helium nuclei, beta particles are negative charge electrons, while gamma radiations, they are neutral electromagnetic radiations. Speed of alpha radiation is of the order of 10⁻⁷ meter per second, beta radiation 2.7 into 10⁸ meter per second, close to speed of light, but gamma radiations, they travel with the speed of the light. Rest mass of the alpha particle is 4 times the mass of proton. So if you multiply mass of proton with the 4, you get the mass of alpha particle, which is 6.68 into 10⁻27 kg. Electron mass is 9.11 10⁻31 kg, and this is a zero mass. Charge. Alpha radiation, because they are doubly charged, so they have charged double the value of electron with positive value 3.6 into 10⁻19 coulomb. Single electron has charge 1.6 into 10⁻19 coulomb, zero charge. Then specific charge. Charge to mass ratio. So if we divide the charge of a particle with its mass, charge to mass ratio is called specific charge, which is 4.79 into 10⁻7 coulomb per kg for alpha, 1.76 into 10⁻11 coulomb per kg for beta, none for the gamma, and its value is greater for the beta particle. Wavelength, because alpha and beta, they are the particles, so they are having no wavelength, but gamma radiations, they are the actual electromagnetic radiations, so their wavelength is of the order of 10⁻⁴ nanometer. Effect of electric and magnetic field. We have just seen that alpha and beta, because they are charged radiation, so they can be deflected with electric and magnetic field, but they do not have any effect on the gamma radiation. Moreover, alpha particles being heavier, they are lesser deflected, beta particles are more deflected. Ionizing power. The ability of a radiation or a particle to cause the ionization of another particle is called its ionizing power. It is maximum for the alpha radiation, which is 10,000 times that of gamma. It is lesser for beta, less than that of gamma, but it is more than that of it is less than that of alpha, but more than that of gamma, 100 times that of gamma. It is minimum for the gamma radiation. Penetrating power. How much distance these radiations can travel through air? It is called penetrating power. For alpha radiation is very small, 3 to 8 centimeter in air. Beta particle bit larger, few meter in air, but very large for the gamma radiation. They can travel few hundred of meter in the air. Stopping substance. Which substance can stop these radiation? Alpha radiations can easily be stopped by a very single thin sheet of paper, or human skin can do that. Beta radiations. To stop beta radiations, we need at least 1 mm thick lead sheet or 5 mm lead aluminium sheet. Gamma radiation, 30 cm thick iron or steel sheets, or even concrete. Biological damage is lesser for alpha, more for beta, but immense for the gamma radiation. So gamma radiations are the one which produces the maximum biological damage. So these are the few important properties which you must remember. Thank you.